So first of all, this type of conference is actually happening for the first time in Lithuania, that is centered around the topic of green infrastructure, and for the first time in Kaunas. And it's actually, the conference, it aims to introduce Kaunas city community, various professionals and businesses to the topic of green infrastructure, its principles, and share innovative ideas and also planning tools that promote green cities. My name is Gentvilas, and today I will guide you through the program of this event, which is full of inspiring speakers from Finland, Sweden, the United Kingdom, France, Austria, and Lithuania. And the first part of the conference will consist of 2 keynote speeches and 3 presentations that will look into best practices of green infrastructure in Europe. The part will be delivered in English, and the speakers will be then joined by a moderator for a roundtable discussion to further explore the ideas presented here today. The second part of the conference will be delivered in Lithuanian language and will consist of 5 speakers presenting the current situation of green infrastructure and possible future scenarios for green infrastructure in Kaunas and Lithuania. The speakers again will be joined by a moderator to discuss further the points that were made during their presentations. Also, I would like to note that the conference is being filmed here today, and the video will be available online with Lithuanian and English subtitles. And last but not least, throughout the day you will have opportunities for coffee breaks, lunch, and also networking. And finally, the conference is organized by Magenta Landscape Design Festival and Bluma Architecture, Urbanism and Research Agency, and is also part of Kaunas European Capital of Culture 2022 events. So, to do an official welcome to this event, please welcome the Lithuanian Minister of Environment, Simonas Gentvilas.
Laba diena. Probably those will be the single words from me in Lithuanian, because most of you are our guests here. And symbolically enough, this week we are announcing or celebrating or initiating the Sustainable Mobility Week around Europe. And this morning in Kaunas, I was stopping together with police and our environmental agency drivers who were passing by cars, and we were giving out public transport tickets to them just an hour ago. And the question I asked next to the TV cameras pointed at the faces of people were, why are you taking a car this morning? And many of the answers was also pointed at the urban structure, that it's not good for walking, it's not cozy enough, and that's a task for us to restructure it. And back from Ebenezer Howard times, from Garden City times, cities have searched principles and codes to become more livable. In Lithuania, we have cities which are not big enough to capture the people in urban environment. Western European cities or megapolises in other countries, they capture cities and make them live in the cities. But in recent decades in Lithuania, we have experienced suburbanization to an extent that actually made our urban centers unlivable. Also due to the principle that landscape design and urban structures were not good enough for walkable cities, for pedestrian cities, for universal design. And we have managed in probably recent decade to make this shift from suburbanization to reurbanization of our cities. And Kaunas especially this year makes a huge effort and a successful effort with European Capital of Culture to bring back people to the urban life, urbanity, and make flanneurship in the city something for the weekend. And this has been a success story for us. We as a government, we are developing together with Bluma, they have worked together with us, urban landscape greenery index to compare our cities together. And we are upcoming with a law changes this autumn to introduce this as a must, as an obligation to evaluate every city or landscape design or urban design from the perspective also from greenery. So this is an ongoing process, but probably my wish is to wish you success of exchange of thoughts. We know that many of the presenters in the first part are from the Nordic countries, and there's a special challenge in Nordic countries, as Baltic countries, as Scandinavian countries, to bring back people to the public spaces when where is not good enough, and that's our common task, and that's possible. We have seen Jan Gehl and other Copenhagenized initiatives and other cities being successful and teaching and learning success stories about how we can manage the public spaces in a way in the Nordic cities that can be example also for southern cities. So big luck in the conference. We have also tasks to do in upcoming half a year. This conference will be inspiration for us how to take best examples from your cases, and our urban planners, they are practitioners and they are always giving a best, current generations are giving the best of the state of art in our architecture and landscape competitions. So best luck so far from me. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your welcome speech. And next, I would like to invite Virginija Vitkiene, the CEO of Kaunas European Capital of Culture 2022. Thank you.
Hello, dearest guests of the conference. It's so nice to have in this particular room so many guests changing, the topics we are discussing about during preparational years of European Capital of Culture, and as well during current year, which is very, very inspiring for all Kaunas citizens, as well for all Lithuanian visitors who are coming to Kaunas so often, almost every day and every weekends in crowds, and also European guests, among them also practitioners, experts, intellectuals, as you are, who are making and working together across Europe to co-create the change. And this is our, working slogan. We are co-creating our city, our mythology even. We are co-creating communities. We are co-creating culture. We are co-creating also our urban green developments in our cities. I am, instead of only this, my inspiring congratulations to all participants here, I wanted to introduce shortly what is going on in European Capital of Culture, as this is the biggest project in culture across European Union. And here in Kaunas, we organized this project together with 300 cultural organizations around Europe. So you can imagine that the results are not just of some few organizations, but there are results of hundreds of organizations and professionals and volunteers who are included. So I'm just wanted to share with you that this is like common, movement of all the citizens who are actually needed not only for culture, but also needed to change mindset about sustainability of environment, of usage of the city, and feel ownership of the city, which is very important also in your today's discussions. So I prepared only a few slides just to show that during our preparational years and this year, since 2017, we are working so much on, collaborative methods and inclusion of people into their own participation and in small, suburbs of the city and Kaunas district, which is also included into the project. We have some kind of permanently going workshops related to the structure of that specific district, to ideas of the courtyards. And we prepared a lot of projects which were going on and still are going on in urban places, and as well in nature of Kaunas city, which is actually very beautiful. We have a confluence of two rivers, and we have a lot of parks. The oldest oak park in the city center in I think in Europe. All these, of course, initiatives which are going on in districts and outside city center are related to green development, also of cultural programming. And I would say even COVID situation helped a lot to move culture audiences out of the buildings into nature. So it's really big progress, and majority of our events, like this year we have over 1,500, I would say about 800 events are taking place outside in green areas, in urban places, as you can also see from some videos I am showing you. So I approached one of the most inspiring landscape design projects, Sept, which also takes place in Zapiškis, outside city in Kaunas district. And this previously digging ship, which was also already many years not in use, was converted in previous year, and this year was converted into a cultural place and garden of the pioneer plants. So it's really inspiring example of how urban infrastructure could be converted into something very sustainable and beautiful. Also, European Capital of Culture program a lot tackles architecture topics, and we have a lot of exhibition in previously abandoned post office building, which is under its conversion into architectural center very soon. And this is also the move for sustainability of the building, because we had to make it work after maybe 5 years being closed before that. Today, tomorrow, and next weeks we have premiere of Aidinbari film around Kaunas modernist architecture, which is very special thing here on the final stage to become UNESCO heritage site. And this is great production, is traveling across world film festivals and got several awards already. And dear guests who are staying in Kaunas for a few days, not for this conference only, I'm showing what's on view still from the professional arts. So William Kentridge exhibition at National Museum, Yoko Ono exhibition also at another department of National Museum Picture Gallery, and very, very touching, deeply recommended to visit exhibition by Jenny Kagan, exhibition Out of Darkness, about personal story of Kaunasians, family from Kaunas who survived Holocaust. not all of them survived Holocaust, but the artist is daughter of father and mother who survived Kaunas ghetto, Kaunas Holocaust. So exhibition really is possible because of artist's goodwill and possibility to speak about tragedy in very miraculous way and very impressive way. So these 3 exhibitions are really recommended for you. And the main huge events which take place in open spaces, we have a trilogy of opening, middle year event and closing, which is approaching. Middle event took place at the Confluence Park, Santakos Parkas, in between 2 rivers who joined together in the city. And last event, I just missed last slide, will be at the end of November. So we gladly invite you to come to Kaunas back, and thank you for attention. Sorry if it took too long, but just for you to imagine how culture could move people, and then for your discussions to think that people are really life material also, and resource, and also treasure, who can only owe the cities and who could contribute with their energy and intellect towards better and greener city and its youth. Thank you so much.